Hello again, everybody. Welcome to Michael's Record Collection, where we talk about great music with the people who make it and the people who love it. Very honored to have back on the program for the third time, Robin McAuley.
Good morning, Michael. Michael's record collection. I can see it right behind you. It's good to be back. Hello, Florida.
Yeah, it's good to have you back on for the third time because we're coincidentally here to talk about the third Black Swan album. It's called Paralyzed. Comes out February 27th on Frontiers Music, and more rock goodness from the Black Swan guys. Just been enjoying the heck out of this the last few days. But I want to start out by just kind of catching up with you a little bit because I missed your, or I didn't get to speak to you. Sorry, I didn't get to speak to you with your last solo album because your last solo album, Soulbound, came out in February of 25. And just curious as to how that experience was for you.
That was really good. Three solos, now three Black Swans, almost like 6 records in 6 years with the label. Um, I took most of Soulbound out on the road actually in 25. Mostly in Europe. We played Spain, we played Germany, we played Sweden. We did almost a month in the UK, and it was great. It was awesome. It was really good. Yeah.
Were you at the Frontiers Fest? Is that one of the places you were at?
I did the Frontiers Fest, and I'll be heading back to Naples for February 26th, the day before the release date of Paralyzed, for their 30th anniversary celebration show.
Oh, nice,
Yeah,
nice.
so I'll be back there for that, and I'm also performing solo at Sweden Rock Festival in June, and a bunch of other dates waiting to be confirmed, but I think there might be some MSG stuff in there too. So it's going to be a busy one.
So when you play these solo shows, what's your band? Is it the same band that played on your solo album?
So yeah, great question. So when I play like Spain, Italy, Germany, that sort of sector, it's all of the guys that are on the record, the Italian band, the squad.
Mm-hmm.
When I play Sweden, there's a great band called Gathering of Kings. Um, and they're usually my Swedish squad for that sort of Scandinavian area. And the guys are amazing. And then I have a different squad when I go to the UK. Logistically, it makes more sense to have them on the ground when you get there, as it were,
Yeah.
um, because it's a lot of moving parts. Sometimes it gets a little confusing because I try to mix up the set a little bit, and sometimes I can't remember what I'm doing. What am I doing with you guys? Yeah, and of course they spend a lot of time and effort rehearsing, and no exaggeration, they make it sound like the record. These guys are great. Guys
Yeah.
are really good. Yeah, yeah.
I
So we
think
have a lot of fun doing it. A lot of fun.
I bet it's it seems like you're having a lot of fun these days.
As long as the old pipes are there, I'll still keep croaking and wish for the best.
I would think that the hardest part is you're on the stage in Sweden. Now let me introduce you to the band. Oh wait, which guys are behind me tonight?
Yeah, it's not so much that it's remembering their names and pronouncing the names correctly, especially the Italians and the Swedes. It's like, yeah, I just try and shorten their first names, and it's like, yeah, and no
Yeah.
teleprompter, so I don't know who's who, and they just laugh. They just laugh. Sometimes they go, and you are?
That
Yeah,
turnabout is fair play, right?
I'm Tom from Sweden. Yeah, but it
Oh,
works. We get it done. We get it done.
excellent. So Paralyzed is a little bit of a departure in terms of the look and feel of the album. When you look at the first two, they're very dark. This new one is very, I wouldn't call it necessarily bright. It's got a cold but a
Yep.
lot lighter look to it in the artwork, and I think really ties in well with the opening track when the cold wind blows because it looks like a very cold scene on the cover.
It's a coldscape. We hadn't we hadn't actually when we put the thing together. We don't really have a track listing. We we throw that at Jeff. We let Jeff do that, and he's pretty good at that. And Reb and I just wanted to come out the gate with Cold Wind Blows, and If I Were King, just give it all straight up the front. Um, but there has to be a balance, and everything has to be cohesive and all of that sort of stuff. And they typically go, Robin, you take care of the artwork. And I'm going, well, what if you hate the artwork? Because I always have some ideas that they don't. So it's plus the fact has to be mentioned that on all three records, the amazing artist Stan Decker, who's responsible for so much work, he doesn't need my input. He doesn't need anything from me at all. So I reach out to Stan and he goes, yeah, but I still want to hear what you've got, right? and I think I've said it before. I like historical stuff. I like geographical stuff. I like reading, and I remember stumbling across one of the famous Chinese emperors who died, and in his tomb, in his funeral parlor, if you will, he had hundreds, if not thousands, of these Chinese warriors, all made of sandstone, and they were all lined up protecting him at the back. And so I had it was discovered not very long ago in perfect condition, and I was looking at some renderings of this, and I went, there's an idea. And I thought the preservation of it, it's been there for thousands of years. And then we decided on Paralyzed as a track, and I immediately thought about the swan and all the little swannies protecting Mama Swan, and also a kind of a political statement, if I dare say that, because I feel, we came out of the pandemic. We never thought that would happen. We went through Generation Mind. People were never the same after that damn COVID thing. And here we are in a different era. People are like a little confused about where we're going. We're kind of frozen in time. Are we doing this? Are we doing that? Do we have any control over it? So I kind of took all of that and just threw it at the fan. I threw it at Stan, and I went, this is kind of what I want, without making too much of a statement about it. Because it's all open to interpretation, of course. And that's what we got. And we were very happy with it. I pitched it to Jeff and Reb, and they're going, dude, this heavy, man. And so, I had found different sort of ice scapes and all of that sort of stuff. I wanted a particular, really, really frozen on the spot. And maybe when the ice melts, things will be better. That's kind of the idea. It's always a bit, crazy. If you give it to me, you have to be prepared for what I'm going to give you back.
Well, I like it. I like the cover. It might be my favorite one so far. It's
and
really
I will
cool.
tell you, for those listening, if it's a beautiful vinyl. Oh my God. They've made the vinyl to look just like it. It's icy. It's like you don't want to touch it because it's super cool what they've done with it. There's also a blue, there's a red, there's a gold, and I think there's a silver. So Frontiers does an amazing job on their packaging. I mean, and now we have a whole slew of Paralyzed merchandise to go with it this time. We didn't have that before, but we have it this time. So
I was looking at that last night.
Three records in, we were like, yeah, dudes.
Yeah, I was checking that out last night. I noticed that you even have a test pressing that you can get there on the Frontier shop.
Yeah.
And there's packages. You can get the T-shirt with all the vinyls if you want, all the different colors. So you can get all of it at once. If you're, one of those collectors, those completists, you can get all of them.
Yeah, look good on your wall.
I don't know if I have any space left on my wall.
I know, right? Look at that. Yeah.
But yeah, it is a very cool cover. I kind of looked at it and was like, this is almost like otherworldly, and maybe the big swan is like the god, and these are the followers, kind of thing. It was kind of
these are the little protectors of the realm.
So one of the other things I was doing last night, I was watching the videos. You've got videos for If I Was King, the second single, and the Paralyzed, the third single that came out, and there's also a one that Frontiers put out
The Fire and the
for the
Flame.
Fire and the
Yeah,
Flame. But
yeah.
you guys look like you had so much fun making those videos. I've talked to a lot of artists who hate making videos, but you guys made it look so fun. So can you tell me a little bit about that experience?
Well, logistically, it's very difficult to get us in the same room at the same time. We make it work for the record. It's usually me and Jeff, or sometimes me, Jeff, and Reb, but Reb's usually in for the writing portion of it. Then he takes off, and then he for portion one, and then stage two, he'll come back to finish it. Um, so when it comes to actually shooting videos, it took months, actually, at least 2 or 3 months to get us to that particular date. I think we shot those. We shot two. We shot King and we shot Paralyzed on the same day. We had a good early morning start, plenty of coffee. And Reb has to come in from Pittsburgh to LA. Matt comes in from Connecticut. But we made it work. And, we love being in the same room together. We don't get to see each other that very often. The record's done and then see you next year, or
Yeah.
whatever, because it's hard to nail us down. Not to digress, there are some dates toward the end of the year that they're really pushing at us. And we might actually get a show out of Black Swan this year, which we're all really looking forward to. We just, again, have to fine tune that. So, yeah, when we get together for the video, same video director, Eric Bordello. He's Spanish. He's from Madrid. Lives here for forever. And Enzo Mazzio, who does the photography. He's all the production director. And they just find these studios and they find all of these different kind of props and they send us a rough script a week or something beforehand, and
Mm-hmm.
we don't really change anything. We go, yeah, sure, let's just do it. Once we get into the room, um, that's we have a blast. We have a blast, and we don't stop till we drop, and we have a job to do, and we have a blast doing it.
How long does it take to shoot one of those? Because it's a performance video, so you're not like
Yeah,
acting stuff out, but you still have to put on a performance.
yeah. So I think we started at around 10 a.m. in the morning. Um, and I think we got out of there about 7 o'clock at night. I think that's what we did. And then throughout, we do the individual shoot, we do the drum shoot, we do Reb, we do all of that, and then we'll do the full performance shoot. And then they chop it up and mix it. And Paralyzed was pretty much straight at you, right there,
Mm-hmm.
done. We did, I don't know. It was the second one we did I don't think we got to that till maybe 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We spent more time on the other one because there was a few props involved. Lighting was important, the
Mm-hmm.
whole smoke thing or whatever. Um, and then we just were ready, and they went, just let's do it. And we did maybe 3, 4 takes, and I think we were out the door. And then they were able to use different angles and that sort of stuff. And it worked. We've all been on stage enough at times to know where to be and where not to be, and when not to get out the hell out of the way. It's a lead break, for God's sake, get out of the shot. So yeah, the performance is always fun. You always feel stupid because there's nobody in the room except the
Yeah.
crew, and you're pulling all these shapes and faces, and you're going, I feel like an idiot right now.
Yeah, I really like Jeff's got the rock star poses down.
Oh, totally. Are you kidding me? Oh yeah, totally, 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 totally. Yeah, it's like just Jeff on the camera. It's like let's do this. It's great. It's great to watch. It's really good to watch. Yeah.
When you did the Paralyzed video, did you have to hold that pose at the end while everybody was still moving around, or did
Oh,
they?
I had a couple of negative comments. Somebody said, "What's with the Tin Men?" And I went, "Huh?" And honestly, I really didn't know what to do when we were doing that, and I went paralyzed, and I just decided to just do that, and then producer goes, "That's cool, do that again," And then I went, and then it was like almost overdone. You know, you just do something, then you're frozen. And I kind of wanted to create that sort of frozen thing. Um,
Yeah.
I didn't really wasn't thinking about the Tin Man at all, to be honest. But there you go. Again, as I say, open to it. People see it in different ways, you know.
Yeah. What I like about the videos, and I know that, MTV isn't really a thing in terms of driving anything anymore.
Yeah,
But what I like about it is it gives you a chance to see the band in action. And for example, if I was King video, you really get to see Reb with that amazing tapping solo that he does,
yeah, yeah,
which you might not catch that he's tapping if you're listening to it live or
yeah.
listen to the
And
album.
what's cool about that is Reb goes out and he does clinics where he shows people how he does certain things. And so we tap in, no pun intended, but we kind of tap in on that because um, I think he's on fire. I mean, he definitely melts the ice on this album. He pulls off some amazing solos. What I really like is with his playing, and I always have, is he's got all the flash, he's got all the speed, but then he comes out of that with this great melody to round things off. And I'm going, damn, dude, you know? And he has great structure. He's great structure. He's just a great player. And yeah, it is good. People like to see it, you know?
Yeah.
People love to see it.
And on a song like Carry On, you've got that keyboard atmospheric beginning, and he's
Yeah,
doing the melodic
he's doing that all over.
guitar.
Yeah.
And so he's extremely versatile guitarist. And I think that it really shines. I think every part of his playing shines on this album. I think there's even a little slide at some point in one of the early songs on the album. And
Yeah, and it's intimidating, and I don't mind saying that because, you know, he has such a history of great songwriting with his winger history. Um, and Jeff, by the same token, you know, just a great history of songwriting and then working together. And then they send me songs, and I'm going, see how much I can fuck this up. You know, and it's yeah, we get it done. You know, I demo the stuff here at home, and then I shoot the roughs out to the guys, and Reb might go, you know, you're singing a major over that minor chord. And I'm going, really? Because I didn't hear that on what you sent me. And then we'll fix stuff like that. Or I'll hit a note and he goes, that's great note. Try this note. It goes better with the chord structure. And that's really all we do with the writing. I come to Jeff, we do 10 minutes pre-production so we know where we're at. And we go for it. We usually knock a track out, including all the background vocals, in 2.5, 3 hours.
mm.
Yeah,
When I talked to you when Alive was about to come out, your solo album,
yeah.
I think you were saying that Black Swan was coming out the next year, and I wondered if you would tell me a little bit about the timeline of this album, because it seemed like maybe everybody was busy and it pushed a little bit. And you were able to get your third solo album out with
Yes,
Frontiers then.
but excuse me. Yeah, we were supposed to. Even the Alive album got pushed a little bit, um, and sometimes I think it's either studio availability or I end up being on the road when I'm supposed to be doing vocals, or Jeff is not available to record the vocals when it comes to the Black Swan stuff. Um, and then what we mustn't forget is we have a new guy now for the past probably 2 years already now, Aldo Lenobile at the label, and he's the head of A&R. He's also the chief studio guy, so he's responsible for all of it. So I don't even know if he gets time to sleep because I think they just throw the kitchen sink and goes, you know, we need that tomorrow, and then that record, and then that record, and it's just he was pushing me, for example, on a track for the anniversary celebration. So I'm busting my butt to get it done, record it, send it back, and I'm going, I haven't heard from him. He goes, I'm only downloading it now, a week later. So he's crazy busy. So that's another factor that plays into timelines.
Mm.
And I suppose I can say they're the label, they can push it as they want. We just had a change in the drop date for Paralyzed. It was initially supposed to be February 13th, and it got pushed to the 27th because distribution just couldn't get it to from A to Z when they were supposed to. And so there's always something, always
Yeah.
something. Packaging, pressing, studio time, availability, trying to nail somebody down and go, we need to get this done. We all know it needs to get done. It's like, but we get it done.
You do. You do.
We get it done.
And I mean, it's not like 3 years between records. So it's not like people are going, where is it? Where is it? I mean, we know you guys are busy. I mean, I'm on the Foreigner mailing list, so I know how much Foreigner's been on the road the last couple of years.
Yeah.
It's insane. I'm like, how are they doing this?
Yeah, not enough days on the calendar for the amount of shows that they do. That's
Yeah.
really, yeah, and more to come. More to
So I
come.
know when you get the music, you listen to the songs and you'll listen to one song over and over, you told me.
Yeah.
And then you'll sort of get a feel for what the melody is. You'll do
Yes.
some scat vocals and then you'll come up with the lyric writing. And I was wondering what stories were on your mind for this album. What kind of things were you reading and seeing that you were able to put into words and put on this record?
Well, I never know, obviously, until I hear the music. I never know. And I listen. I kind of like to own the song before I start, you know, writing all over it. And I listen really a lot to what Jeff and Reb are doing. There's a track on the record that I love called "I'm Ready." It's a little macabre. It's a little about the end days. We're all getting older. I'm thinking, oh shit, a little reminiscing here. But there were certain riffs and bass notes that Jeff was playing that completely inspired me to take that melody and that kind of a storyline. I always tell everybody I love vampire movies. I love old Hollywood movies. I love Agatha Christie. I love uh, all of that sort of almost LA noir kind of vibe. I just like that whole approach to reading, to writing, and I have enough in my memory bank to pick from. And I just saw the new Frankenstein movie, and then that inspired something else. It's a whole new take, a whole different imagery with the makeup, and it just somebody always comes up with a different take, a different storyline attached to it, and I might take snippets, and then I listen to what Reb is playing on any one particular track, and I always come to him, and he goes, "Oh, dude, did I play that? I don't remember." And there's something that will give me a sound, that will give me a melody, that will give me a word, and that's usually where I can't explain it until I'm actually in there listening.
Mm-hmm.
And I could be sitting here all day thinking I have no idea what to do here, and I don't usually have a song title, which would be helpful because then I'd know where to take it. It's usually a sound. I will play the track over and over and over and over and over and over, and then I'll pick where I think the melodies sit better. And it's just a bunch of baloney that goes down. They're just noises.
Yeah.
But I'll put the noises in the right place, and then I'll come back and I go, now I know where I'm at, and that's basically how I tie it together.
Yeah.
Then I'll come to Jeff and he goes, I don't know where you got that, but this is cool. And that's usually what we do. Jeff has a great ear, so does Reb, and they like melody, same as I do. And I think that's where we get that great pull and push when it comes to getting the best out of it. But we like to have fun with it too. We don't always take it, doesn't have to be that serious all the time. And we don't throw anything away in a song. A lot of songs that you listen to have like the bridge section. It's just a little segue to the next section, but it's gone. We don't do that. We love working on that and going, dude, this bridge is better than the chorus.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of writing we have fun with. And then Jeff is great when I lay a track down, he hears like a counter melody sometimes. I think it's on the very last track, What the Future Holds. He came up with this great counter at the very end, and I'm going, dude, that is like super cool. I didn't even think of that when I was doing it. And that's where that extra element comes in of going, oh, it's screaming for it. Can you hear it? And he hears it. Same as I'll tell Reb, and Reb will go, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, so we work well together. It's a good team. It's a really good team.
Yeah. You were telling me on the Alive album when you were telling me about the song that had it was about the serial killer that she had an incestuous
Oh,
relationship with her. And I was like, I like this guy because he's not afraid to just take the weirdest story and just turn it into a song. So that's why I asked, what was going on your mind or what were you
yeah, and
thinking
I
about?
mean, that's the kind. You know what I was speaking of serial killers. We were just watching the Golden Globes, and we had here at home we had just watched the whole series on how does he pronounce his last? Is it Ed Gein?
Gene, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and man, I mean, unbelievable. He didn't get a Golden Globe. He should have done it. Just I don't know if you've seen that or read the book.
No, I haven't seen it.
My son had actually read the book, and he goes, "What are you watching, Dad?" And I'm going, "This is this whole story on Ed Gein." He goes, "I just read that book, right?" And I'm going, "Are we all like into this macabre stuff here in this family or something?" Amazing, and he was totally almost oblivious of what he was doing in terms of, they said it was mental health and he's a little wacky. And as he said in one of his, not to digress here, when he said it in the being interviewed, he goes, "Oh, I didn't murder anybody. I dug them up." And he goes, "That was just a hobby." And he was totally convinced that it was okay, and there was and he took up quite a few, as we know, you
Yeah.
know. Um, he did knock his mom off, of course, because she annoyed the crap out of him, and a couple of others. But for the most part, he was just digging up bodies and peeling the skin off, and he had just this whole thing going on. Um, I find that macabrely interesting simply because I can't believe that a mind goes down that rabbit hole, and it's yeah, yeah, that's the weird. It's weird. I
Yeah,
know.
it's almost
Jeff always
alien.
says, yeah, Jeff always Jeff always says, he goes, "What's the story? Tell me what the story is." I go, "Well, here it is. You're going to hate it." And he goes, "How do you put that into words?" And I go, "Well, you kind of just bounce off stuff.
Hmm. Did you have
But
a
I
song?
like that. It's good. It's good. You'll never run out of subject matter.
Yeah, true. Yeah, the you're right. The serial killers, the way their mind works is just so alien,
Yeah,
and
it
it is
is.
fascinating, even
Yeah.
if it's a little scary. Did you have a song that you just struggled with in terms of how do I get out what I want to get out here? How do I find that melody? Was there one that was more difficult than others, or one that was easier than others?
Um, I don't I don't think so. I struggle with everything, truth. Which is why I spend so much time. If you had a deadline for me, the deadline would definitely pass because um I need time to go in there and feel comfortable with my own melodies and my own lyrics. Um, I think one of the first tracks we did, the very first one I wrote was "The Fire and the Flame," which once I heard it, I just kind of got straight in. I don't even know why it ended up so fast. Um, we had no idea that they would put that out as a teaser single to begin with. One track I really did enjoy working on was "I'm Ready." It's not a slow track, but it's kind of that mid thing. It's
Mid tempo, yeah.
a little dark lyrically. But yeah, I went down the it's over. My life is done. I went down that rabbit hole on that one. Um, because it's sort of it was a thankful and grateful moment. This is what we've done. Now we're in the room with all of the people that I really want to be in the room with, and we're having our last farewell kind of a thing. And I had a lot of fun doing that.
That
Yeah.
one,
But I'm not going anywhere, by the way.
that's good. That one, I'm Ready and Paralyzed to me sounded a little bit like if you put Klaus Meine's vocals on them, they sounded like they got a little scorpions in them.
Interesting.
Yeah, little 80s scorpions. Maybe it's the tone that Reb uses on the guitar or something, but
Ah, that's interesting. Yeah, and I didn't hear that, but it wouldn't be the first time, Michael, that people are going, oh, scorpions.
and then Shakedown is a song that I felt like if you came out on stage in 1986 and that was your first track, I think the place would just go insane. I think that's a great set list opener.
Thank you. That was kind of a little homage to Thin Lizzy, at the very end, you might hear the vocal going, tonight there's going to be a shakedown. It's like, tonight there's going to be a jailbreak.
Yeah.
That was my little Lizzy homage at the very end there.
And you saw Thin Lizzy when you were 12, you told me.
I certainly did. And they just celebrated Phil's 40th anniversary in Dublin last weekend, actually.
Oh yeah.
I wish I'd been there for that. And there was a lot of great friends of mine who were up on stage. I watched a whole bunch of interviews from Scott Gorham, whom I've worked and recorded with. Brian Robertson, of course, when he left Motorhead. Brian and Filthy Taylor, and Chris Glenn, who was Alex Harvey's bass player and then MSG's bass player. We had a thing going called GMT, which ended up being called Glenn McAuley Taylor. We cut a whole bunch of demos that got released without our knowledge, and all that sort of stuff with some hilarious videos. So a lot of great musicians who participated in tribute to Phil. Just a great songwriter, great poet, and such another one gone too soon, as they say,
Yeah.
But there you have it.
So the album is by Black Swan, third album called Paralyzed, comes out February 27th on Frontiers. You can get it at the Frontiers Music Store. You can get it. They've got a store for the US. They've got another one for UK or Europe. And I think that's the best place to get it, where you guys benefit the most. But it's another good, solid, anthemic rock album with modern production, great hooks, great choruses, soaring harmony vocals. And I think that this one might be the best of the three.
Thank you. It's nice to know that you're making improvements as you go along.
Yeah, but I think you guys are getting more comfortable. It seems like you guys are getting more comfortable with each other, and then and building chemistry, even though you don't get to spend a whole lot of time together.
Yeah. I think we sound like a band. We sound like it is a band. And again, we enjoy the process, and we enjoy putting the music down and making it work. We don't throw it away just because we don't have the time. We dig in and we go, let's make a good record, and that's what we like to do, just as a band should do.
Yeah.
So I hope we get a couple of shows out by the end of the year. That's the plan, Sam.
Robin, what's the best place for people to tune in and look for information on potential Black Swan concert dates?
Well, it's all over my official Facebook site, Instagram. I don't go on X very much, but Instagram, Facebook, and anything that's on either of those platforms will take you through to Frontiers Music SRL, and then you'll get more on there. So, and then there is my official website, robinmccauley.com, that I try to keep updated. But mostly Facebook, Instagram, you'll see everything that you need to know. There's the private site, there's the official site, and there's always a crisscross going on. So if you want to know, you'll find it. And I hope you do find it and give it a listen, give it a thumbs up. All of the videos are up on YouTube. Anybody that gives it a like, I usually try and make a comment, because I think that's what we should do. And we absolutely appreciate everything you do and listen to. And thank you very much.
All right, Robin McAuley, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate having you back on the show, and best of luck with Paralyzed. And I'm sure I know you guys are. I think you're contracted to do at least one more of these Black Swan albums, and we're looking forward to your next solo album as well.
Thank you very much, Michael. I appreciate it. Thank you.